If you like Ben 10 as much as we do, then you're probably looking for some of the best villains that Ben 10 has fought throughout the series. Well then, look no further as we have compiled our picks for the top 5 best villains in Ben 10. Welcome back to Comments Top 5s, and if you find yourself coming back for more of our top 5 lists, then you might as well like this video, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell icon for notifications on upcoming content. With that said, let's jump right into our top 5 picks, shall we? Number 5, Kevin Ethan Levin. Of course, number 5 on our list had to be Kevin Levin, as he is one of Ben's most iconic villains and friends. Kevin first appeared in the episode Kevin 11 in the original series, where he was an outcast because of his ability to absorb the matter and energy of anything he touched. He was always mentally unstable because everyone, including his family, treated him like a freak, which affected his personality in such a negative way that he became a killer. Kevin chose to reject society and use his powers for his own personal gain, until he met the alien Quarrel, who helped calm his anger and frustration. During a feedback pulse from Ben's Omnitrix, Kevin absorbed large amounts of alien DNA that turned him into an alien Frankenstein. Kevin has the abilities of all the aliens that he has absorbed, giving him a wide variety of close and long-range attacks. In later series, Kevin turns into more of a hero and helps Ben and Gwen save the world on multiple occasions. Seeing Kevin grow and develop from a rage-induced monster to a crime-fighting hero is what makes him such a great character. Number 4, Malware. Who doesn't love Ben's alien known as Upgrade? Well, Malware is the incomplete, evil version whose goal was to destroy everything Azimuth ever created. Malware was born on the planet Galvan B by Azimuth, the creator of the Omnitrix. There was an unforeseen error that deactivated the device halfway through Malware's birth, making him flawed and psychotic. Feeling incomplete and like a failure to his creator, Malware decides to take matters into his own hands and upgrade himself. After absorbing the power of the machine that created him, his body was enhanced and capable of harnessing more energy. Malware has all of the same abilities as any galvanic mechamorph, including I-beams, shapeshifting, and merging with technology. One difference that made Malware unique was that he could fully absorb the technology he fused with, physically upgrading himself and becoming larger and stronger. Malware eventually goes after Ben so he can absorb the Omnitrix and take the power of Azimuth's greatest creation for himself. The backstory behind Malware's interrupted birth and his anger to prove that he isn't flawed is what makes him such a great villain to have on our number 4 spot. Number 3, Dagon. Dagon is an ancient extra-dimensional creature that made an attempt to invade the main universe of Ben 10 and take over as its new ruler. Dagon is a very arrogant creature who believes that he is more powerful than anyone else, considering himself godlike. Dagon was once defeated by Sir George wielding a special weapon made by Azimuth. After taking some time to recover, Dagon comes back, this time sending Vilgax to eliminate Ben and Sir George, since he knows they are a threat. Not to mention, Dagon is able to take control of a person's mind even when he is sealed away. On top of that, he can shapeshift, usually looking like a black and green dragon, or a giant Cthulhu-like serpent creature. Dagon claims that his whole being is made of power, and that his heart alone is powerful enough to rule over the universe. Talk about overpowered. He cannot be destroyed by conventional means, and he doesn't age, making him practically immortal. However, he was defeated by Vilgax after being absorbed into a machine that harnessed all of his powers and gave those powers to Vilgax. So, while Dagon might have lost that fight, he was still a worthy opponent for our list. Number 2, Dr. Anemo. We just had to have the mad scientist himself, Dr. Anemo, on this list, as he is one of the most well-known and recurring villains in the Ben 10 series. First appearing in the episode Washington, B.C., Dr. Anemo was a well-known researcher in veterinary science. His goal was to create super animals by mixing various creatures' DNA together, then controlling them telepathically. The world rejected his research and prevented him from getting the one thing he always wanted, the Verities Award for veterinary science. This drove Dr. Anemo insane, which gave him a negative incentive to finish his work and mutate the whole planet. He faces off against Ben on multiple occasions with his army of creatures that he has mutated using DNA from Ben's Omnitrix. One of Dr. Anemo's most well-known creatures is his giant frog that he rides around on. Funny enough, in an alternate future, Dr. Anemo puts his own head on the body of an albino gorilla because he lost his body in an accident when he tried to recreate the DNA explosion that made Kevin 11's mutated form. Dr. Anemo's drive to mutate the world and his hatred for Ben is what makes him the perfect villain for our number 2 spot. Now we can't have a top 5 list without some honorable mentions. The Highbreed. With the Highbreed, we are not talking about one villain specifically, but the whole race, as they work like a hive mind and look for planets to inhabit to mine for resources. The Highbreed believe that they are the very first intelligent species to exist, making them feel above everyone else. They are more adept to cold temperatures and need plenty of water to survive, making them weak to warm temperatures and aliens like Ben's Heat Blast and Swamp Fire. Highbreed despise all other races and label them as scum or filth. One in particular hybrid, known as Hybrid Supreme, was more honorable than the others, but even then, he was still very arrogant. Hybrid Supreme first appeared in the episode Alone Together, where his minions were mining materials on Earth and infecting people, turning them into DN aliens. Ben eventually finds out about this and tries to put a stop to their plans by using his Omnitrix to erase the alien DNA from the people of Earth. During a fight with Ben, Hybrid Supreme realizes Ben's true intentions, and after some arm twisting, eventually makes amends with him. I mean, Ben did use his Omnitrix to heal the genetic damage in the Hybrid's race, thus saving their species from extinction, so it makes sense. Albedo. When talking about Ben 10 villains, we just had to mention Albedo, as he is an imperfect clone of Ben, seeking revenge on his hero counterpart. Albedo was a respectful and kind Galvan alien, and the assistant to Azimuth, that is, until one day when something went wrong in his attempt to recreate the Omnitrix. He ended up turning himself into a clone of Ben with the same habits, cravings, and similar alien transformations, but with a bitter attitude. Albedo then travels to Earth in search of Ben to get his Galvan form back and to steal the Omnitrix. Instead, the two Omnitrix collide and create a biofeedback that turns Albedo into a negative version of Ben. Now stuck in this form, Albedo has a blaring hatred for Ben and will do anything to get his form back, including teaming up with Vilgax to take Ben down once and for all. What makes Albedo such a funny and interesting villain is that he tries so hard to be himself, but he can't stop the habits and urges of Ben's DNA in his body, making him crave chili fries and having a twitch in his left eye whenever he lies. Ghost Freak. Everyone remembers the twisted, power-crazed alien, Ghost Freak, that practically haunted Ben in his first appearance, Ghost Freaked Out. While Ghost Freak's mind might be twisted, he is actually an amazing mastermind, capable of executing diverse schemes that will give him enough power to rule the world. He prefers to work alone, but he isn't opposed to threatening others or possessing their body, forcing them to become his minions. Scary as it sounds, Ghost Freak can use all of the abilities of the person he is possessing, making him one of Ben's largest threats. One of his biggest goals was to take possession of Ben so he could have the power of the Omnitrix for his own power-hungry ego. Ghost Freak has even gone as far as trying to possess Vilgax so he can take over Vilgax's own planet, Vilgaxia, but since that plan failed, he travels there himself and turns all of Vilgaxia's people into ectoneurates, like himself, to control them. Everything about Ghost Freak is creepy and complex, which is why we had to at least put him in our honorable mentions. Number 1. Vilgax. Of course, number 1 on our list was going to be Vilgax. He is one of the most recurring villains in the series, not to mention Ben's archenemy. Vilgax's reputation of being a galactic warlord is well known throughout the universe, as he has destroyed 5 worlds, conquered 10, and has even created a black hole. His first appearance was in the episode, and then there were 10, when he was chasing an alien ship that was carrying the Omnitrix before Ben got it. The Omnitrix was launched down to Earth to protect it from Vilgax, and coincidentally landed next to Ben Tennyson. So, if you think about it, if it wasn't for Vilgax, Ben never would have found the Omnitrix in the first place. Vilgax's whole goal was to retrieve the Omnitrix for himself and use it to create an army of transforming aliens to conquer the universe. Ben has successfully thwarted Vilgax's plans on multiple occasions, and has even sealed him away a few times. After losing to Ben on many occasions, Vilgax develops an immense hatred for him, making his main priority killing Ben, even if it means losing the Omnitrix. Vilgax is very cunning when it comes to teaming up with other villains to destroy Ben, and that's because he always finds a way to stab them in the back. It doesn't matter if you're a hero or villain, as nobody is safe around Vilgax, and that is why he had to come in at number 1 on our top 5 list. Well, that's our picks for Ben 10's top 5 villains. What do you think of our top 5? Which villains would you have added or changed? You can let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget, if you want to see more content like this, then it's hero time, and you gotta like this video, smash that subscribe button, and click that bell icon for notifications on upcoming content. As always, thanks for tuning in to Comments Top 5s, and we'll see you on our next top 5 video. If you want to start the Ben 10 journey, then check out our How to Watch video for the Ben 10 series as a whole on Comet Comics. If you're looking for more Ben 10 Top 5s, then check out our Ben 10 playlist here on Comments Top 5s. As always, if you want to suggest a video topic, leave a comment down below with the tagline, Top 5 Idea.